Okay, so for our second problem set from the relating work that we've done so far, we're going to continue the packages, but this time we're going to do dubious delivery. So going over to the instruction, there's no database setup because we're using the same one. So for this time, you will do a nested subquery and a join. Okay, so first get the nested one done and then do the join. And I mentioned in attendance that I don't require it, but you could do a static one to help you find the answer and then help you analyze how to write a subquery and a join. But you don't have to include that from my work, just FYI. Okay, so what is the mystery of the dubious delivery? Good day to you, deliverer of the mail. You might remember that not too long ago I made my way over to the town of 50ville. I gave a certain package into your reliable hands and ask you to keep things low, meaning don't tell anybody. My associate has been expecting the package for a while, and yet it has grown wings and flown away. Ha! Any chance you can help clarify this mystery? There appears to be no from address. Key statement. Matter of fact, on the hint I actually gave you, what SQL would you use? So this is a way to help you get understanding and get started is what SQL if you have no address, okay? All right, so, and it also gives you a little hint here too. It's kind of a package that's a bit more quack to someone's bath time if you catch the drift, okay? So, so in this case, here's where you have to first understand the data, understand the problem, start with, figuring out how you would solve this. And we've given you a hint to get started. So in this case, unlike CS50, right, what you will need to answer is what was the drop off address? Okay, so we know it was dropped off. So in this case, because the database tells us, but here's the output of the nested subquery. Okay, so when you get the correct answer there, you'll know that's what it is. Now on part two, oh sorry, that is, so this is actually the nested subquery requirements. I'm just showing you what is expected for the output. Okay, so in your README file, your proof of effort, set up a heading 2, that's a markdown. Here's the text for that. And then create a DD-Q, copy the last letter and remove previous queries. Make sure you point your SQL references updated and you point to the power DD. Okay, so you don't overwrite other stuff and then do a commit there. Now write a single nested subquery to solve the problem. This is where your proof of effort, right? So how did I attempt to try? What attempts was I getting? Your logic changes. This is all in your proof of effort. I mentioned this also in attendance. This is actually in this assignment worth 45 points for both of these. That's the importance that they have, okay? Then once you actually have the output, or in this case, you've attempted it, right? And then you're going to, oh, you know what I will do? Oh, yeah, I will actually put a break here. By the time you get here, you will have seen I will give you a break for this one, and that would be your attempt here. And that's where when you submit, you will see, you will get my feedback on how you've tried and and you know if you were successful here. And actually, remember, this is where you actually have to write a subquery. You can't just go find and hard code the answer, although a static query will help you do that. So once you do that, then you do the same problem, but with a join query. Okay, so then in your README file, you add a heading 2, join query for the dubious delivery, and then you write a join query to get it done. Now, in this case, you can get it done without a left or right or natural or any of that. Just a straight join query will work here. Okay, the difference is here because, and this is actually one of the distinctions between a join, is you can actually output now more content. So I not only want the drop-off address like this, the heading of it, but also the contents of the package, okay? So then once you have all that working, right, then you would commit with your dubious delivery. And this is what I was talking about before, is that your README, your proof of effort, is 45 points for this, right? You do have to output the correct content here. And then your commits must match the messages above. Okay, hope this gives you an overview. This is where reaching out for help starting early definitely helps. Submitting on the break, which I will now add to this file. All right, talk to you later.